Guys, right to Konami. They
Hello, Squires. This is Jacob from
monsters. They obviously
Silent Hill Ascension. This is a gift gifted to him by Konami.
Well. So all the merch that got produced. But interesting.
That's a huge base, yeah. Like, because like normally when I get the statue, it's like,
man, I would love a statue of the pyramid head.
Well, the statue's probably smaller, but the base is huge. Because like usually when I get like these kind of figures, like of that range, like the statue's like pretty big, but the base is usually quite small. That one looks like massive.
Yeah, it's large, sturdy.
But yeah. All about the base from Johnny Zombie Boy, of course.
Where do these pieces go in from?
Yeah, there we go. People like trying People liking the detail on the statue as well.
Does it stay by magnets? Is that how this thing works? There's no instructions.
It just works. That's all it is. The pyramid head is not logical. It just is.
Okay.
So they're saying to put the arms before the sword, Jacob.
Okay. Got it. Well, I mean, the arms and the sword are attached to each other.
Oh, okay. Well, so that was pre-done for you, apparently. So
that was pre-done, but I don't understand how this is going this side.
We have speculators who are saying this is now worth more because you've touched it, so the value's gone up.
The value has gone up.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yes, you are correct. We have to put it in the...
Oh, okay. So we got pretty curious here. So like I'll read the question. Can you can you all explain the monster from last night's endurance scene that looked like she had the face of Lady Bits? Like how and why was that made? I think that's a stinger. If I was to guess which monster that is.
That's the Entangler.
The Entangler? Okay.
Right. So that is the trauma monster for Pennsylvania. There's one for...
Take that off. Just...
Yeah? Okay. I mean, you can come in and this my COO Chris is here with me.
You're not on your own. There's somebody in the background helping you out.
Yeah. Take that off and do it more easily. Okay. So there are two trauma monsters. There's one for Norway, and there's one for... Does it go this way?
Yeah.
Yeah. But these magnets don't seem to... I don't think I'm doing it well. And there's one for Pennsylvania. And, I mentioned on the streaming back in December, there was a third location that we built it out, but we haven't aired it because it was going to get way too convoluted for 3. Like, we had a conversation with the bad robot, and we were like, too much stuff going on. Can you move the camera closer to the... Yeah. Bring it here. Yeah.
Nice.
So the third location hasn't aired, but we built a creature for that location too. And each one of those creatures relates to a specific trauma of the main storylines of those locations. So that Entangler creature has to do with basically the way in which Rachel is entangled with the lives of the characters there, and you can kind of guess what the creature with the giant fire. Switch to this camera.
That is so cool. Those things are usually fairly expensive.
It's supposed to be with regard to Carl. Yeah, this came up pretty nicely.
Obviously you talked about fur location, so there's a bunch of questions about that. Just quick Q&A on this one. What do you mean by a trauma monster? Just rapidly from our
the thesis for the show was that the main kind of creature, similar to our, red pyramid thing here, was the primary trauma creature for James in Silent Hill 2, that we should have creatures that relate to the specific traumas endured by the characters in those locations. And both Norway and Pennsylvania have themes related to them that are unique and special. And so those creatures are connected to the trauma. That's why you saw the Entangler in the opening scene where Rachel and Joy are having that ceremony, you see her appear there. She is connected to Rachel and Eric and what's going on in Pennsylvania. Similarly, the other creature that you've seen with the fire coming out of it is connected to Carl and Astrid, and soon our next character entering into the Fatefold there.
Okay, no, like seems like the audience is liking your answer as well. They like the
That's
context
super
here.
cool.
The first location, I'm sure, like for tonight, that's probably over because there's like I think a lot behind the third location, right? Because you mentioned it, but like we'll drop hints because you're a repeated guest, so I'm sure we'll drop more hints on what that was, etc. But like for the audience development.
Yeah, look, we wanted one. When we were starting the project, we thought it would be interesting to explore the storyline from rural, suburban, and urban environments. And the one that we cut from the storyline was the urban environment, and that would have been the first time the series was really set inside of a city proper. And we built those environments, we wrote those characters, and we wrote that story, and we'll probably reveal later, but some of it's been folded into what you have right now. But the biggest problem was, it's already hard to understand everything that's going on between the 5 characters that we had at the start of it. Can you imagine? We planned for 9 Fate characters live concurrently at the start of it, and it was just like, it was too much to process.
Yeah, I know, right? Like when the show started, it was already like just getting to grasp with the now our audience kind of gets it. I think they who knows what will the future reserves in that sense, but at the start for sure, like just getting to grasp with the core systems. So by the way, I don't want to like skip too much. Like I know the audience is asking, but like I like that statue definitely has presence. That's the one thing I'll say.
Yeah, no
definitely
kidding.
like nice little companion for the
Kind of looks fake, but it looks really good.
So and by the way, for the audience, if you're asking more detailed story questions, those are best. I mean, Jacob could probably answer some of these, but we do have guests coming on as well that we're like writing directly, or like obviously Layla, Noah, and myself, like we try to research as much as we can about the story to make sure you get that. So we'll try to answer these questions as you go. Hopefully I can know like 2 or 3 that we can maybe clarify some light. And like the thing is, our development team actually, Jacob knows this very well, our development team watches the shows every night, and our narrative team actually makes notes of things that the audience are doing and saying for us to like look into the future and kind of get that material for you and do it in the future. So if I'm not answering to you tonight, it's still good that you're writing this, audience, because we might answer that in the future as a result.
Yeah, look, we are live editing the show. We are live producing the show. We do checks on the content that comes in every day. We take in user feedback. One of the biggest points of user feedback from our first month was the cameos remove a lot of the immersiveness. And so like that's how you get Jam Man, because this is a cameo. And so you'll see a lot less of them, and they'll be much better integrated into the story as a result of it. And again, that's all just user feedback that we're taking in real time.
Excellent, thank you. One question. I'm gonna do a last question from one of the audience members, Super Cool 9, who was like asking if we. To both of us, have we met any Team Silent member in the past? I haven't, straight up, but Jacob, I know you have.
Yeah. I have signed stuff from Ito-san and the others, because I was there at the Silent Hill transmission, right? That aired in October 2022. We were all together, and so we swapped stories and met and spoken for sure. But I was the only one of the kind of external production team parties that was there at the transmission. If you watched that, you would have noticed that while it had Ito and Okamoto-san and the others, that most of the other videos were pre-recorded and I was live. But I speak fluent Japanese, and so I was there taking live instruction from a Japanese director in a Japanese film studio as we were filming it. Not as easy for people from Poland or from other locations.
Yeah, I mean, if you live there 20 years, I would imagine you picked up a bit. Somebody's asking if you speak Japanese. I'm going to say I don't think it does.
I'm completely fluent. If the question was to me, I don't know. If
I think it was to both, but like, yeah, I'm not. You are clearly.
Yeah, look, Wada-san, who is my longtime boss, doesn't speak English. I mean, he understands that he can process it, but he doesn't speak it. And I was his translator for years. So if you go back and you read shareholder letters from the late aughts and early last decade from Square Enix, I was probably the person who translated the shareholder letter or did the last English check. I got one final really funny story. So in 2013, we were preparing for the PlayStation 4 reveal, and 4, can you imagine? And they wanted to announce that a Final Fantasy was coming to it, and they had Hashimoto Shinji-san, who is the kind of the Meijin, the longtime brand and franchise director of the Final Fantasy franchise there, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to say about the project. And like Wada-san calls me and the PR head into a room and like writes Hashimoto-san's speech and tells me to translate it. So I translated it into English, but I did it real quick. And then at the event, Hashimoto-san reads what I wrote and says, "Otanonishimi ni shite kudasai," which, means to look forward to something, but I translated at that time as "please be excited." And that became a huge Square Enix famous meme of "please be excited," so that's my fault. I have lots of other stories that I can tell
That's
about
funny.
Fantasy and Square Enix and Konami, and we've got Bandai Namco stuff, Pac-Man, everything else. But
no, we saw the Pac-Man as well in that little background. So, but that's the thing. You're recurring guests. We got to save your stories from time to time. So we're gonna do one little last thing. I'm gonna ask our production team to put the decision that opened today, because we talked a lot about narrative, but this is like this is the Morgy part 2, because people as well in chat have been asking you, Jacob, to join their cult of the merging.
So I'm part of it. I'm the leader of the cult of the merging. Everybody.
There we go.
Merge.
You got a new official leader, audience. Perfect. Yeah, somebody's like, please be excited for Morgy 2. So, right now, Redemption's winning, but early days, rallies exist for that very reason. So it's how will Eric respond to Xavier's invitation, right? Stop Krista from participating. Watch, which in a weird way might be the word, like definitely the weirdest of the options.
Yeah, that's.
Watch is excellent. Yeah, I'm just gonna look. Just gonna watch. Yeah, and then the last one's like offer him as the satyr, which is like clearly party people time. Xavier's like, I learned more. That it was very fulfilling.
When they told me about the plans for Xavier and all the like Xavier pushing for people to have sex stuff, I was like, yeah, that's a cult leader right there. You got it. You spot on.
Yeah, that is a cult leader right there.
I mean, that's the thing, right? He wants to make sure the merging takes place, and that decision's like pretty long. It's like 6 days, so that'll be next Tuesday. So it'll be a little while. So
that's gonna be a long time.
Audience
Okay.
Look, I'm looking forward to the Xavier eyes wide shut stuff coming. So.
Oh my. Anyways, on that note, okay, Jacob, it was a delight having you. I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna basically let the audience know what they can expect. But thank you so much, Jacob. For the unboxing, being here. I'm sure the audience had a great time. Actually, a lot of questions from them on like kind of how the HILL Ascension was made, like that relationship. I hope you in the audience.
We'll get into it. I'm happy to answer all those questions. Just keep coming back every day, and hopefully you'll get a chance to hear me answer them live.
Yeah. So
we got plenty of time. We got many weeks left.
No, there's lots of time.
Months.
Yep, I know it. Just have to find these things. So the big thing is tomorrow's show. We got one of the decisions that was today that we kind of glanced over. It was like ongoing is what will Rachel do with faith quotation marks, and it's really between redemption and damnation. Still with redemption a little bit ahead, with leave her behind. Now tomorrow, here's the thing. Like one of the big things with Silent Hill Ascension for the audience is. If you if you can watch it live at 6 p.m. Pacific, that's great. If you can't, I very strongly recommend you catch up on the action Friday. You don't really want to miss tomorrow's action. If you can't watch it because of your personal life circumstances, that's totally fine. We have catch up for that very reason. Obviously, watching it live is exciting. You get the audience with you, but that's it. Now, Friday, we got the pre-show, 5:40 p.m. Pacific. We got the post-show right after that show on Friday. That'll be with Layla and Noah. They're going to be taking really good care of you. They're going to walk you through some of the more intense narrative beats that we've had this week. So obviously I'm hyping it up and setting them up so they're not going to be the biggest fans of me right now, but I know they can do it. I trust them. That's why they're going to do it. But here's the thing. Jacob, thank you so much for being here. Audience.
Thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you. And audience, I hope you had a delightful post show. I know, a little bit a different take, but today was a big narrative moment. And of course, you got to learn more about what makes Silent Hill Ascension tick, which we do hope you do enjoy. That said, we'll be back in action tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. Layla and Noah will be back in action 5:40 p.m. Pacific. That I know for sure you don't want to miss. You can't catch that stuff up. So all that said, thank you so much, audience. Take care, everybody. Bye for tonight.
Bye-bye. See you.
All right, thanks for watching. I wanted to at least get that on camera, him unboxing a gift from the actual guys in Japan that have created Silent Hill. He worked on the team with them and talked about him knowing Japanese, and it's pretty cool. He's making his own series now with these guys at Genvid, and hope you enjoyed the gift that he was given. And he had to take it over on a plane from Japan to New York. But let me know if you like the post show, and hope you like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.